Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking April faves, the video where I share with you all the skincare and beauty products that made a big impression on me this month. If you are so ready to dive into the faves and monthly empties, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right in. Let's kick it off with Bringgreen Cera Healer 4.3% Repair Serum. Now, this is something that I talked about quite a bit actually over the last couple of months. I introduced it to you in my Ecto-In video, and I recently talked about it in my Spring Swaps video, and I shared with you that I've been swapping out the Peach and Lily Barrier Serum, which I'll talk about later in the video because it is empty. I'll give you an update in just a bit. But I actually, when I emptied that, I swapped in this, and it was so perfect. It was like the absolute perfect replacement that does a lot of what that serum does, but just in a slightly lighter way that has absolutely been working really well for my skin this month. It really is all about barrier care, which you know I'm all about. That's the Cera in the name, right? Ceramides. There's ceramide NP in here. But there's also a strong focus on hydration. We've got panthenol in here. Ecto-In, which if you watch that video, you know that not only is it a potent antioxidant that protects your skin from environmental stressors, UV, but also pollution, it's also a skin flooding ingredient. It actually really helps your skin hold onto and retain hydration. It's particularly helpful antioxidant for dehydration prone skin, and I've been seeing this trending up in a lot of new skincare products recently. But then they're also using mugwort, which you know is one of my favorite soothing anti-inflammatory extracts that is something that really just works well with my skin. And that's exactly what April has been for me. I've been on a pretty good track with my skin, but I am a little bit more prone to the inflammation, congestion, and a little bit more prone to dehydration as my skin is just kind of settling into this newer season. And so this is kind of hitting all of those marks effortlessly, and it feels so stinking hydrating on my skin. I really look forward to this step in my routine right now. You know, I love my toners, I love my essence, but honestly, when I put this on, it just is like, yes, hydration bomb deep within my skin. It feels good because it's like, it's a gel cream texture, so it's like really plumping. It's really hydrating, which is a kiss of moisture. It makes my skin, you know, of course it absorbs eventually, but it makes my skin look so glowy, and it like really just like highlights like all that smooth skin. I'm like, yes. It's just so good from top to bottom. Ingredients, texture, feel, how it works with my skin. And it has been keeping my skin very happy. Like I really don't have too many barrier complaints this month. Actually, things have been going really well. More of my complaints are like, oh, I have a little bit more congestion, a little bit more pimples, but that is to be expected when your skin type is fluctuating with seasonal changes. Like my combination skin is fluctuating right now, but this is just playing along so beautifully with everything. And yeah, I cannot rave about it enough. I do have one little small like gripe with this, and that is the size. It's only 25 milliliters big, and that is pretty tiny. And I did buy this at Olive Young, so I did pay like the full price for it. So I'm loving every last drop of this serum, but it's probably not going to last me too much longer into May. Quite honestly, I'm a little bit more than halfway through this already, but totally, absolutely adoring and loving this one. Dr. Idriss Major Fade Flash Mask. Now, I did mention this in the Spring Swaps video the other week as well as something actually that I wasn't swapping for a different product, but actually adding into my routine. And this has been something that I've kind of, I like to say I smartly added into my routine. I've had this product for a really long time, months and months. The first time I actually started to use it was back in the fall of 2023. And you'll notice that my packaging is actually a little bit different because this brand used to be called Pillow Talk Derm. It rebranded right at the top of 2024. So the packaging's slightly different. The branding is different, but the actual product itself has not changed. The ingredients haven't changed or anything like that. But just shows you how long I've been holding on to this. I was playing around with it extremely casually. I was not being consistent with it. I was just kind of like willy-nilly using it, right? I was like, I don't know if this is going to work for my skin. I'm not sure. And I tried it the first time. I was like, oh, actually, my skin's not irritated. Surprise. And then it'd be like, oh yeah, let me try this mask again like 3 weeks later. But I wasn't being very consistent with it. And then I went on this like testing rampage. I feel like it was like very, very, very aggressive testing. I was testing a lot of different products, kind of like back to back, trying to be as smart with it as possible. But that does mean that when I'm testing certain types of products that maybe offer certain types of benefits, or I just know what my personal sensitive skin can handle, that means things have to go away. That means I have to take certain things out. I have to be smart about how I'm doing this. And so this mask was not an experimentation for a while. And then I was like, I got to press pause a little bit, right? For my skin, right? I have to press pause on all the new stuff and just take a little bit of a breather for my own skin. And so that's when this kind of crept back onto my radar. This was at least a month ago now, beginning of March, I think. And I was like, okay, I really want to focus on brightening my skin. I really want to focus on kind of taking it to that next level. I'm always dealing with hyperpigmentation. I also really would like to work on some of the texture and pores and things like that, right? So AHA is a great ingredient for that. So that's what this mask is. It's 15% glycolic acid, 3% of lactic acid, and then they're also using tranexamic acid. Those are the three, that trio of active star ingredients in this wash-off mask. And so AHA, glycolic, as well as lactic, which is just a little bit gentler, really does address those texture issues. It really helps with the brightness. Tranexamic acid is not an exfoliating acid, but it's definitely something that helps with the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. It also helps with pigmentation associated from the sun. It's particularly good for melanated skin like mine. It's just been a really like a star ingredient for brightening. So I love that it's in this mask with the AHA. So I've been using this one time a week. I got it into a permanent slot in my core skincare routine one time a week. I can't really use it much more than that, but I'm slowly gaining the benefits. But you certainly could use it more if your skin can tolerate it. So I dropped a tretinoin night. I use tretinoin 4 nights a week. I dropped one, so I'm 3 nights on tretinoin, and then one night or one day, if you will, with using this mask. Using this, I have been noticing more brighter skin, but especially smoother skin. It's really been addressing texture. I think it's slowly been decongesting my skin, like aiding in that process. Certainly tretinoin is doing that. I also use with my tretinoin mixed in, it's a compound cream with azelaic acid and tranexamic acid. So obviously I'm getting the pore unclogging capabilities of azelaic acid and tretinoin the other 3 nights of the week, but this is just a different type of exfoliation. It helps with the top surface of the skin. It really helps to smooth that out, retexturize it, and really help to shed the excessive dead skin cells at the surface. I think this has been a really good time to start using it because, as I mentioned, my skin type is in transition. It's kind of overproducing oil, which is leading to more congestion, but I think it's also kind of trapping a lot more of the dead skin cells at the surface. So the AHA is really kind of helping to just kind of keep things under control. I think it's slowly been clearing some stuff out, which I think is great. But I've definitely noticed smoother skin, softer skin, brighter skin. It just really brings a clarity, you know? I think it's a great word for it, clarity to the skin that was just like that kind of missing thing, you know, that thing I was yearning for and didn't know how to quite get it. And I feel like this mask has given that to me. So I am really impressed because I've had an uneasy relationship with glycolic acid and lactic acid and AHAs in general. If you followed me for a while, you know that I don't really talk about those types of products because they don't usually work for me. They don't usually agree with my skin. I usually get a lot of irritation. And so that's a big reason why I'm being very cautious with this mask. But it's been working. The way I've worked it into my schedule, it's working for me. It's working for my skin. And I think the formulation is just smart. You know what I mean? That tranexamic acid is just the cherry on top that's really bringing that clarity to the skin. So I'm going to keep trudging along with it. I will probably take a break in high summer just because of the photosensitizing properties of AHA. I really just focus in so much more on sun protection during those high UV, high summer days. You know, I'm talking July, August, and then it'll probably come back after that because I'm really liking the results of this mask. Numbuzin #1 Clear Filter Sun Essence. This is SPF 50 plus PA+4. It's a chemical sunscreen with 5 all new generation chemical filters. I did just do a video on this. I did a pretty in-depth review. So if you're really interested in this, I would definitely check the review out because I'm not actually going to deep dive. I have a lot more products that I want to talk about today. So before you purchase it, if you're interested in purchasing, check the video out. I've really been enjoying the sunscreen this month because it is very different than the sunscreen I named as a favorite in March last month, which was the by Wishtrend UV Defense sunscreen, which was, like I said, it was creamy. It was kind of moisturizing. It was kind of perfect for that in-between, slightly still chilly weather. Well, we've kind of fully gotten into some warm weather this month, and really those sunny days are really starting to kick in. My oil is really starting to kick in, and I'm appreciating those lighter products now. And so this one was one that I tested. I bought it at the beginning of the year, and I literally just threw it into my cart because I wanted to make free shipping, first and foremost, right? But also I was like, Numbuzin is a very trending brand right now, and so I think I can get a video out of this, whether it's good or bad, right? And I was really impressed with the texture, and that's why it's a favorite for me and why I've been using it a lot this month. The texture, it's really weightless. It's one of those sunscreens that I say I forget that I'm wearing it, and that's a good thing. I know, like, if you're trying to build that sunscreen habit, forgetting if you put it on is like not a good thing. I've built that habit, but what I mean when I say I can't feel this sunscreen is it's not heavy. So I don't have this like thick, greasy layer that is weighing my skin down and making it just feel thick and like I can't breathe, like, in a way, right? It is something that doesn't irritate my skin. There are some sunscreens that can make me feel kind of itchy, and so I'm not feeling that sensation in my skin a couple hours after applying it. It's just very, very comfortable. It's not stinging my eyes, and oftentimes for me, it's not about like a sensitivity to the sunscreen, the particular sunscreen filters. I know some people can't put sunscreen around their eyes because it makes that skin feel very irritated. For me, it's actually, I think it really does come down to textures, especially if the texture sits on top of your skin and never fully settles. It's so easy for that kind of like that emollient film to kind of travel into your eyes. And once it's in, right, it is stinging, it is burning. My eyes just immediately start to water, which can be a big mess, and it just hurts real bad. And I really didn't get that with this sunscreen at all. And I sweat. Like, I was really working out hard wearing this sunscreen, assuming that I would get some eye sting, and I didn't. So I was like, yes, this is awesome. So it really settles and sinks into the skin. Works well under makeup, so I wasn't seeing my makeup looking all like, you know, sometimes you put your makeup on over a new sunscreen, you're like, why does everything look terrible all of a sudden? I didn't know my skin looked this bad. Oh, it's the sunscreen. No white cast, so no buildup in my dark hair, right? Streaks across my face. I was just really impressed with the performance of the texture, especially, and the comfort. And that is really something that I value so much in my sunscreens. You know, there's different sunscreens for different situations, right? This is not sunscreen that I would use to maybe do gardening or to go on a hike or know that I'd be sweating a lot outside. This is something that I would be using if I'm driving to the store. Maybe I'm going to be walking to and from the car, just a quick walk around the block with my dog. This is for that type of situation, right? Like, I call it casual sun exposure or incidental sun exposure. It's perfect for that because it's so comfortable and it works so well in a lot of different situations. So love the lightweight, breathable feel for the warm weather. I will say, though, I did get a little pilling when I first started experimenting with this, and that's why I really encouraged you, if you're interested, don't just go off of this little quick blurb review. Please go check the video because I talk more in depth about that. I was able to solve the pilling issue, but it may still be an issue for some folks, so check out the video. All right, let's talk empties. I totally owe you an empty update on the Peach and Lily Rescue Party Barrier Restore serum. So, I've been really vibing and jamming on this serum quite a bit. And I emptied it right at the beginning of April, and that's when I switched over to Bringgreen. But as I mentioned, they actually have very similar key active ingredients in here and a very similar point of view on how they've put everything together. They really are giving the same benefits. It's just that Bringgreen is doing it in a more gel, hydrating, slightly lighter expression, and Peach and Lily, while still light, is a lot more creamy. It doesn't have a gel-like texture. It has more of a runny, creamy, but also hydrating texture to it. And so I actually started using this. I bought it at the end of January. So right at the beginning of February is when I really started to use this and love this. And I featured it in the Ecto-In video from that month. And I really think that that's the ingredient. I've been really obsessed with Ecto-In lately. And this is really the product that really showed me what Ecto-In can do for the skin and why it's actually a really good fit for me. So yeah, I've been featuring it quite a bit over the last couple of months. It is empty now, and I have to say I was surprised it lasted this long. I got a good, I think it was a good 10 weeks out of this serum. It is a 30 milliliter serum, so a little smaller than most Korean serums tend to be about 50. This is 30. There's just something about the scale of this packaging, the size of it, that really made me think it was going to be empty a lot sooner, or that it was a lot smaller than 30 milliliter. There's something about it, but it actually really was the serum bottle that kept giving. I thought in March that it was empty. There was like an air pocket, like a little air bubble, and so there was one pump where I could feel the resistance and it didn't shoot out as much, and I was like, oh, getting empty. And then it lasted for like a whole nother month, almost a month and a half, I think. I was like, okay, you were totally wrong there. And quite honestly, if I hadn't bought the Bringgreen and I didn't have it sitting there waiting for me, I think I might have repurchased this one, because I think it would actually work for warm weather for me, because it is so hydrating. It's creamy, but it's a light type of cream that my skin could handle. But I really like it. I think I will probably go back for another bottle at some point, because it's just a really smart formula that's particularly good for dehydrated skin, sensitive skin, and skin that maybe struggles with the moisture barrier. It really strengthens your skin, but it also really helps your skin retain hydration. And I like that little extra layer of antioxidant protection with the Ecto-In as well. So this was a goodie. This is a very positive Empties review from the beginning of the serum to the end of it. I think it was really worth it, and it's not a cheap serum by any means. Now, let me tell you about another empty, which is just a longtime favorite of mine, but I haven't actually spoken about it recently. And it is the Aprilskin Artemisia Rice Toner. This is actually named as a favorite in my monthly video for May of 2021. It's been a minute. Yeah, I've had a few bottles of this, obviously, since then, but I actually haven't talked about it in at least over a year, if not longer than that. And so I was really excited. I've had it sitting in my cabinet for a while. I've had such a backup of toners. I was like, first I'm going to use this one, and then I'm going to use this one, and then I'm going to use this one. And so I finally got to the Aprilskin toner. I was like, yes, I'm so excited. It's been so long. It's like, yes. Everything I love about a toner. It's watery. It's super duper hydrating. It's really easy to layer on the skin. It absorbs quickly. And when you layer it up, because I like to do 2, sometimes 3 layers, it doesn't build up thick. Because I feel like sometimes a toner will feel good in 1 layer, and then you do a second layer and you're like, something's not, like, this is getting all thick and weird and like kind of gross on my skin. It's not like that. It's just so watery and really quickly absorbs. So it actually layers like that beautifully, and it works well, obviously, with other products too, but it really delivers that deep down hydration that I so appreciate. You know how picky I am about that. So texture is a winner. Hydration levels are a winner. What's not a winner about this, and the reason I was so disappointed, I was like, I guess the only share I get to have about this particular bottle with you as an empty is because it's kind of small. It's 150 milliliter, which is a standard size, but it's small for me. I said I layer it 2, 3 times sometimes, morning and nighttime. Yeah, I run through that size very quickly. And so I opened it up, and then all of a sudden it was gone. I was like, I didn't get to share it in a skincare, video. I didn't get to share it in any type of like toner roundup or anything like that. So I guess I only get to share it with you as an empty, but just know that I've emptied quite a few of these over the years. I really do enjoy it. I need a bigger size. Aprilskin, please. But it is a really beautiful toner. So for this month's self-care corner, I don't actually really have like a lesson or like a bigger kind of concept to share with you this month. Sometimes that's just like what your self journey is like. It's like I didn't make like huge breakthroughs or anything, but I wanted to share with you 2 resources that have actually helped me take care of myself this month. And the first is the Within Acupressure Mat set. I do have chronic pain, and it does start from really, really tense muscles in my upper back, my shoulders, and my neck. And it actually ends up compressing nerves that run all the way down my arms and causes all kinds of secondary symptoms that has been going on for a really long time. And I'm really finally in a place where I'm really focusing in on myself and actually exploring, this syndrome and exploring this pain and really working on holistic solutions. This is actually little plastic like spikes, like acupressure, right? It's needles that go into your muscles to induce relaxation, right? And obviously there's a whole energy system and tradition behind acupuncture. But this is acupressure. The first time I laid down on it, I was like, I don't think I like this at all. It really is intense, and you do need to kind of like acclimate yourself to it. But I have really committed to laying on the mat for 20 minutes before I go to bed every night, and it has been so beneficial to release the tension. When I release the tension, it releases the source of the pain, the compression, right? That runs all down my arms and stuff. So if you have tense muscles and a neck and all of that, maybe consider this. But if you have trouble falling asleep at night, maybe consider this. I did not expect that it would actually improve my sleep so much. I didn't believe those claims when I read them. I was like, I'm just here for the pain relief, right? But it actually induces so much relaxation throughout my whole body. 20 minutes. I spend 20 minutes on the mat, and then I get into bed. I can't keep my eyes open. I fall asleep within like 15 minutes. That's not normal for me. And I feel like maybe I'm even getting deeper sleep from it as well, because my body is just able to get into rest mode. So it may be helpful if you have tension, if you have pain in your back, muscles, neck. It just really does help with that. But maybe if you're struggling with your sleep too, my sleep quality has improved so much. And if I miss a night on the mat, I can feel it. So really, really, really impressed with this. So while I was hanging out on my acupressure mat this month, a lot of times I was listening to an audiobook, and I really enjoyed Stolen Focus, Why You Can't Pay Attention and How to Think Deeply Again by Johann Hari. Now this book really made me think and reassess actually a lot of things in my life. It really made me think about focus. And I think I have talked to so many people, and every single person says, I can't focus. That's too long. I can't pay attention to that. I can't watch movies anymore. I can't read books anymore. I have to do this one thing, and I literally just cannot do it because I can't focus. We all know that our focus has been stolen by so many things in our world. I mean, our phones, right? It's right here, right? It's tempting me right now to like look at it, right? But I like that this book isn't just about like, you need to take your phone and put it in the other room and walk away. You need to like delete all your social media apps. I like that it doesn't just focus on like personal responsibility. There is some of that in there, but like I think we all know that like we're at a point where there's so much coming at us, and the way that our society has been shaped, I think especially social media, technology, right? I think that the personal responsibility that's just not going to work, right? If we all were like, I'm going to put my phone away for 1 hour, we're still going to be dealing with it when the hour is up, right? Because it's like how these things are designed to steal our attention, how they're designed to keep us glued in, how social media is designed to keep you scrolling. How many hours have you lost to YouTube or to Instagram or to TikTok? You just went on there for one thing and you spent like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a whole hour's gone by, and you don't even know why you opened it up in the first place. It's designed to do that. It's not just you. And it also talks as well about solutions. It talks a lot about different types of research, and it talks about all facets of stolen attention. I really latched onto the social media stuff and the phone stuff, but there's actually a lot more in the book. So I really appreciate the point of view that Johann Hari is taking to, like I said, an incredibly complex, very nuanced, multi-layered issue that is pressing, that's dividing us, that is making it really difficult for us, not only personally to get things done, but as a collective and as a society to make change in our world, because we can't come together because we're so divided and unfocused. So I'm curious if you had a favorite product or lesson or self-care tool that helped you out this month. Let us all know in the comments below. If you love this video and you want to see more from me and you haven't hit subscribe, make sure to hit subscribe. It really does help my channel out, but it also helps you stay up to date with all the new content that I'm constantly posting throughout the week. So turn on notifications as well so you're never out of the loop. I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe wherever you are in the world. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.